Hey everyone, this is Elias from Rev Match Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2021 Ford Ranger Tremor model. Now, this thing is awesome. I am excited that the small truck world is back, and Ford is really tackling that on. Let's go ahead and get started. We get started in the front, and we're gonna start with the obvious, the cyber orange color. This thing is incredible. In a parking lot of gray, silver, black, and white, this thing will stand out, and it looks so good too. Yeah, this is the color you wanna get your Ranger in. A couple of things with the front. We do have the LED headlights here. It just looks nice. It has a nice mean look to it. With this being the Tremor package, we do have some cool little accents. I'm loving this little red accent on the grille. Would I have loved that other places? Yeah, like in the tow hooks here, that would have been nice to have there. I know other brands do it, but I don't know. Maybe it would take away from the special look to that. But it is nice. I do love this front end. We do have the fog lights, LED fog lights as well. I think it's a really nice front end, and I'm loving it. Well, let's see what's under this really nicely sculpted hood and see what is powering this little big guy. We get under the hood and we have the 2.3 liter inline 4 Ecoboost engine. Now, this thing is cranking out 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. It is going through Ford's 10-speed automatic and then to the 4x4 system that this has. Let me tell you, this thing is amazing. So this does have a twin scroll turbocharger, and it sounds really, really good. This little engine is nice. I do love the way that this sounds. And it's not just the sound, but it also performs really well. And that 10-speed auto also performs extremely well with this, and shifts extremely smooth. The power gets down. Even with these big wheels, you can get this thing going, really. But it's been an incredible power plant. I've had a lot of blast in this, whether you're from a stop or on the highway. Because of those 10 gears, it really helps you keep within power of that turbocharger. But yeah, this guy has been incredible. I've had a blast with this powertrain. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in those wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package, and honestly, I don't think I've ever been this excited to showcase a wheel and tire package. So we do have the 17-inch option. It is in this gunmetal color. It is my favorite color, one of my favorite colors, because it's not black, it's not gray, it's that in between, and it has a lot of like pearl or sparkle to it. So it's really nice. And we do have this massive General Grabber tire on it. It is a 265/70. This thing is massive. Is this tire noisy? No, it is not. This thing is super quiet. It is super smooth. I am not tugging at the wheel. It is such a tamed road tire. It felt like I was on normal road tires, not on this really aggressive tread pattern of a tire. No noise, no tugging at the wheel, performed really good on the road. It's just spectacular. It really is. And again, with this combination, massive height, I'm loving this, and it just worked really well. The suspension in this, the clearance, it's just such a good pairing. The brakes in this are a little bit tough to get used to at first, but once you do, it's super easy. Once I went on the drive this morning to get here, I was already used to it, but it did take a little bit, because the pedal does about the first 25%, you don't catch anything or you don't feel anything, and then the last 75 is perfect. I would say if the last 75 were the whole 100%, we'd be fine. I wouldn't be surprised if it's because of this bigger wheel setup. But it's really, really been good. And I know this off-road, I've driven this off-road, is really good tire setup for this, again, this little big guy. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and we can see this is a nice looking truck. I mean, it was already nice to begin with in the front, but just the way that it stands really grabs your attention. So we'll get started with the front here. Again, we see that nicely sculpted hood. We see these wheel arches. I'm loving these little accents here. And again, it's being in that anthracite, or just kind of this you know, gunmetal black color to it, and matching the wheels is a nice touch to it. Same thing with that front bumper color as well. We have the nice badging here for the Ranger, and probably one of my favorite things about this Ranger is the steps. So these steps are actually really useful to get in and out, because this is a little bit on the higher side because of those awesome wheels and tires that this has. So definitely these steps are needed for you to get in, especially if you're on the smaller side. But we have the big rear door here. It's nice, easy to get into, tons of space in the back, which I do love. And again, we have that wheel arch here that follows in the back. And of course, this awesome Tremor badging. It looks really good. We have the 5-foot bed in the back. The color, it's just really, really nice. I do love this color. You're gonna stand out. And in this truck, even in a gray, you'll definitely stand out because it has a nice, mean height to it. I do love it. Would I go different with the tire size? No. I lift it? No, I don't know. I think I would definitely keep it at this height and this stock. Yeah, I know, maybe change the wheels, but I do love the overall tire and wheel height there. But yeah, it's been nice. Let me go ahead, and so I have the key fob in my pocket, and we'll go ahead and test out the, yep. So it unlocked. I can just pull the handle and it opens up here. I can close the door. There is a little indentation here. I can go ahead and lock that. I can also type in my keypad combination in there. And the only thing is that the rear will not open up unless the front has really been unlocked. So there, and we're good to go there. The other thing as well is that you don't have the option of locking through the back. So again, you have that little indentation. You can lock or unlock there. And yeah, it's been pretty good. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in the back. We get to the back, and simple is what I'll say for the Ranger rear. Taillights, simple design, looks nice, looks clean. The tailgate is big, it's flat, I love it. It's got the Ranger name pressed on there. It's nice. You're not gonna have super fancy tailgate wars situation with this, but that's fine. Keep that in the F-150 range and higher. But yeah, this is nice. Oh, we do have, again, that colored bumper, which is, gosh, I just love that darker color. We have your hook points on here, and yeah, this guy as well can tow a good amount of pounds. So if you're needing to tow a little bit of your toys, you can definitely do that. Now, the tailgate right now is locked, so I'll go ahead and unlock, and I can go ahead and open. It isn't a dampened tailgate, but it's not a heavy tailgate. So this does have the Ford Tough Bed spray and bed liner on it, which is super nice. This stuff is really thick on there, and it's really durable. You can definitely see some abuse that it's had, but it's still gonna be there, and it's not gonna damage the truck itself. We do have a couple of tie points, and this doesn't have any LED lighting in the back, but you can see that there are different holes for you to accessorize the truck, which is nice. Again, this is a super light, you know what, I'm even gonna go ahead and just literally with one finger, not much effort is needed to bring the tailgate up. So you can see it's a very light tailgate, so you don't have to worry about really, you know, lifting up a lot of weight. But yeah, this guy is just really nice. And again, that orange looks so good. Now, key fob. With the key fob, I do have the unlock, lock, and we do have the option of pressing the button twice, and it will remote start the truck. So that little 2.3 liter is running right now. We do have the side exhaust tip coming out there, and I think it's time to go for a ride. we get inside of the Ranger and it's pretty nice. There's a lot of black in here, I will tell you that. We do have the B&O optioned speakers here, so that has been really, really good. The sound is actually really loud and clear, which I've loved. We get to the seats, and these are the Tremor trimmed seats, and they are big and comfortable, and actually really pretty good adjustability in the sense that I can find the spot that I want. I found one spot that I was comfortable, and then I repositioned it. I was like, oh, okay, let me see if I can get a better position, and I got even more comfortable. So yeah, they are really nice. They are bigger, kind of like lazy boy kind of things, but they're still good. As far as like, you know, structural things, they're really comfortable. We get to the wheel, and there's something about this wheel that I should not love about it, and that is the material. So the material of it is kind of plasticky, like that leather. I don't know, the leather feels not that soft leather, but it's actually kind of fine, because the look to it is actually, I kind of like the bulging look to the wheel here, and it's actually really good. Besides the feel of it, as far as the material, but the actual turning and everything has actually been really, really good, which we'll get to in the performance side of things. And the buttons, with this being kind of my first time with this kind of Ford, it's actually really nice. So because they have a bunch of the buttons here, and they're pretty reachable. I know sometimes I say a thumb wars kind of situation, but it's pretty comfortable of being able to reach all the things with cruise control. What I do love about it is that the controls for the gauge cluster, which is the next thing I want to talk about, is up above. Now, the gauge cluster. The gauge cluster, we have kind of these three zones. We have the left side, which gives you like your RPMs, and that's what you have this D-pad kind of thing where you can change all the different views. We have things like distance to empty, the tachometer, different ways of viewing the tachometer. We also have the off-road settings, digital speedometer, tire pressure, average speed, and so on. Now, again, that's on the left side of things. In the middle, we have speedometer, analog, and it's good. On the right side, we have kind of like more of the infotainment side of things, of controlling what's on there. And I don't know, it's been okay. You know, I can see what song I'm playing here. Maybe, I don't know, something else on the right side would have been nice. But I kind of do like this thing that's going on here, because I've never had two kind of mini screens inside of a system like this. But it's nice. I really do like it. And again, with the steering wheel, it does work well. Now, coming over to the right here, we're gonna start a little bit higher. Something that is awesome, I love this in the Bronco, is a bunch of switches, a bunch of auxiliary switches for lights, for a fridge, for, you know, secondary power, just everything. It's already built into this. And my favorite is the feel. The feel of these switches are incredible. And the sound, it's just something silly, but I do love it. It's a very clunky, like clunk, clunk. It's like you're committing, you're turning this thing on. It's really good. I love it. So I do have 6 of them up there with this Ranger. And we come down here to the infotainment system, and this is where the Ranger is lacking a little bit. And thankfully, by the time of this filming, they have announced the international release of the Ranger. This infotainment system has been upgraded to match more of the Mavericks, which is one of the things I was struggling with. It's like I love tech. I love tech, but I like tech that makes your life easier, not harder. The Maverick has really awesome tech with a big screen and everything, you know, wireless Apple CarPlay and that stuff. And my biggest kind of issue with the Maverick is it's a small truck. So it's a small truck. It's not as capable as this. I'd like a little bit more, and that's why I was loving the Ranger. But then I kind of got inside and I was like, it's missing something, and it's just that. So next gen, if Ford announces it for the US again, we'll have a lot of that updated tech, which is awesome. Because in this one, I was Apple CarPlay 99% of the times. I was just kind of seeing if there was anything exciting other than you know, the Apple CarPlay itself. There really isn't. So there isn't any, like, I don't know, any gimmicky things that made it interesting and keep me out of the Apple CarPlay environment. And with that being said, it is connected via the cable. So I do have the phone connected with the cable. When we get to the actual down here, when we get to the AC controls, it's good. It's good. No issues there. Fairly easy to get to. I have my also kind of like my radio settings here. The one thing it is lacking is the setting to change what vent you want it to use, whether it's, you know, for the top, bottom, the frosted can do. It's just top or bottom, you know, your feet or your face kind of thing. So you do have to kind of go into a menu. I couldn't find it. If you guys, any Ranger owners out there, if you can let me know, there's a button somewhere that is easier than just changing it in the infotainment system, let me know. Also, you know, welcome to the channel. Do all the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, share, yeah. And we get down here to the charging area, and yeah, we have USB-A's, we have 2 of them, and we have a nice little area here for my phone. It doesn't 100% fit, but it didn't need to. It was actually pretty good at just kind of staying in there. So no complaints there. I did like, you know, just kind of keeping it there. It's actually fairly far away, which is good because obviously it's out of my reach, and in the sense of, you know, texting and driving, but it's also out of the reach of getting in the way of other things. So I do love that. Then we come down a little bit more to the even more fun options. We have your 2 high, we have your 4 high, and your 4 low. So obviously, with this being the Tremor package, we do have those awesome options in here. And we also have terrain modes. That's what that little TM means. Really nice. This thing is so capable. It's such a capable little truck, and it's a fun little truck. So again, we have the different modes. We have normal, we have grass, gravel, snow is one of them. Then we have mud, ruts, and we have sand. So we do have different things. And what's great about it is you can switch into those modes, and it will switch the 2 high, 4 low, or 4 high, depending on the mode that you're in. But you can also go ahead and actually change it yourself, so that if you are in that specific mode, you can switch back to 2 high if you want to. So yeah, it's a nice little touch there. And then we have the shifter. I've actually really loved this shifter. It's, I don't know if it's something about just kind of like, it is a big shifter. It's a big shifter, but it feels powerful. It feels like a powerful shifter. It's really nice. So we have obviously just your standard automatic modes, and we have the sport mode, which you can then, when you're in sport mode, you can switch the speeds on the side here of the shifter itself. Okay. Then we have the cup holders, nice and big, plenty of room for big cups. And then we have the armrest. Now the armrest is actually fairly big. It's a good size depth to it as well. Only thing is, my wife didn't like the fact that the armrest doesn't actually go all the way on her side. So it does go on my side, and it's because of the drink cutout. So there is a drink cutout there, and yeah, so her seat had to go a little bit further back in order to comfortably put her armrest there, her arm on the armrest. When we get to the back, we have my kid's seat. There was a ton of space back there, so no complaints with that. He didn't kick my wife in the back, you know, in the back of the seat, because he tends to just kind of move his feet, but no issues there. Plenty of space. My father was sitting in the back as well. No complaints there at all. And yeah, those side steps definitely help with getting him in. He can actually get in by himself. He can lift up. So love the fact that we have those steps. Now let's talk performance. Underneath the hood, we have the 2.3 liter inline 4 Ecoboost engine. It is cranking out 270 horsepower with 310 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 10-speed auto and the 4x4 system that the Ranger has. Now, my favorite thing performance-wise about this little truck is the sound. So this little engine is actually pretty nice sounding. It's got kind of like a boxerish feel to it, just a little bit on it. And let's, yeah. Yeah, it sounds pretty good for Ford. It sounds really good for an engine. It has, again, like that kind of boxerish sound to it, so it's really good. The 10-speed has been incredible, super smooth at shifting. You know, no issues there. The engine is, yeah, I mean, it's peppy enough to really get this guy going, even with the bigger wheel setup. It's nice. I do love it. One thing that has been a little bit weird are the brakes. So the brakes I had to get a little bit used to. I guess I was kind of in the Tacoma world. If you guys haven't watched that video, I complained about the brake pedal just being extremely stiff, in the sense that you really had to always put pressure down for it. With this, it's actually kind of the opposite. So about 25% of the pedal at the beginning is almost nothing, so it doesn't really grab, but that last 75% does grab. So it did take me a while where I was like, okay, you know, stop sign's coming up, I hit the brake and I'm like, okay, you know, it's like that little, and it's not mush. That's the thing, it's just not, it's the same pedal feel, but you're not seeing the braking happening. I don't know if it's because of the bigger tires. Sometimes that can typically happen with bigger tires, but once you get to that grab point that it has, brakes are fine, and I've already gotten used to it. It's funny, I as soon as I hopped in today, I was like, let me see if I'm gonna encounter the brake issue, and actually I didn't even think about it. I just kind of braked, braked, and no problem. So yeah, that was kind of, just get used to the pedal and you'll be fine. The performance as far as the steering feels really good. Even with these big wheels, the drive has been extremely comfortable. I have been loving this. There's no complaints of it being uncomfortable. Sometimes you can get a little bit, you know, if it's a lot of smaller bumps, you'll feel them, but the bigger guys with no issues. In fact, I was kind of aiming towards the bigger bumps because I knew I could do it with these bigger tires. But this has been incredible. I have had a blast in this. The performance is really there. I mean, it just sounds really, really good. And again, those shifts are super smooth. It really gets going at really any speeds. This has been really fun truck, and I know off-roading, I didn't really take this off-roading, but it definitely is capable. There's tons of videos out there where people are taking this on some pretty mean roads or off-roading locations, and it does really well. I have been super impressed with this. I've loved this. Now, who is this truck for? Or more like, who, you know, what would you pick over this? So I've test driven the Tacoma, and granted, both of them have their outdated kind of things to them. I can tell you that I actually like this more than the Tacoma. The wind noise, that was probably the biggest thing with the Tacoma. There is a little bit of wind noise here. It's not super quiet, but it's quiet enough that if I just put the radio up just a little bit, it's plenty. It's been really, really good. I made a fairly long drive with this, and I've driven the Tacoma on the highway. So for like everyday use, this really excels, and it excels really, really good. Yeah, I think I would definitely pick this over the Tacoma in a heartbeat. And I love the Tacoma, and I've driven the TRD Pro, so the top of the line Tacoma. Yeah. Now, the only thing is the price. So this is at $47,000. Yeah, that's the kind of hard part to kind of swallow, because it is a fair amount of money for a mid-size, I guess. Yeah, now this is considered the mid-size truck because we have the Maverick on the light truck. But yeah, this is a little bit on the pricier side. but I'm really glad that the mini truck world is coming back, or just a small light truck world is coming back. But yeah, this Ranger has been unbelievable. I've really enjoyed this. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review. I've had a blast in this Ford Ranger, and remember, find the right gear. See ya.